Hey guys, it's Cassie and welcome to this month's What's New, What's Trending in Luxury Fashion, where I go through fashion news, hot new collabs, releases, drops, and hot items that you just need to know about. I like to keep you up to date. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so kicking it off with fashion news. We've got quite a bit of fashion news this month. Strap in, grab yourself a snack. First thing that I want to talk about is Fashion Month came to a close at the beginning of October, and I just wanted to touch on the three most talked about, most viral Fashion Week moments, in case you weren't aware. Number one, the Couture spray-on dress. So, for the finale of the Couture show, Bella Hadid walked down the runway in nothing more than, I think it was a thong or something, and then we saw her be sprayed with some sort of, I don't know what material that is, sprayed with some sort of material that basically, you know, sort of clings to the body and clings together to create a sort of fabric, and then it was sort of styled on her and finished to create what, if you were just, you know, walking down the street, would look like a normal dress. It was everywhere. It was one of those, you know, real fashion moments. It reminded me of Alexander McQueen's runway show where the dress was painted at the end of the show. And apparently this technology is about 10 years old. The technology actually isn't that new, but I mean, it was fun. It was amazing to watch. It really was. There is a brand. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know if it's Avavav, A-V-A-V-A-V. Those are the only two ways I can think of calling it, of pronouncing it. They did their entire catwalk with falling models. And this was meant to sort of be, the whole collection was about money and the quest to, you know, be seen to be rich and wealthy. And these models just like falling, you know, at their knees throughout the whole thing. A little bit like shocking to see, like that's, you know, a bit weird, but also I think it's supposed to sort of represent the fact that, you know, we fail at doing this when, you know, we're trying so hard. I don't know. And then the other most talked about moment is Balenciaga's mudslide show. Their whole runway was in just like a mud pit. I don't want to know the state of the shoes, the bottom of the trousers, the dresses, the end of that. But if Balenciaga does something well, it's getting talked about. We have some creative director rumours around Nancy Dojaka. So she is a very sort of like hot, talked about designer at the moment. She showed at London Fashion Week. Very well known for sort of lingerie inspired pieces and dresses and all of that. Hanging on by a thread, you know, like just the tiniest gust of wind and you'd be totally exposed to the elements. Anyway, apparently she is getting given a creative directorship at a big brand. I have no idea who it is, where it is, but let's keep our ears to the ground, people, because I think this will be very interesting. The first two places that came to mind would be Chloe or Givenchy. I don't know Givenchy. I actually would like to see her take on Givenchy, but maybe Chloe. What happens on the first Monday in May? The Met Gala. Met Gala 2023 theme was released, and word for word it is Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty. Obviously, Karl is no longer with us, but he was creative director, most notably, towards the end of his career, at Chanel and Fendi. Earlier on in his career, he was at Chloe and Balmain. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the different designers make reference to his looks. What do I want to see from this? Fingerless gloves. This man was never seen without his black leather fingerless gloves. Maybe we may have a nod to Choupette, his cat. I wonder what Choupette is doing now. Hope you're well, Choupette. Louis Vuitton has also brought their 200 Trunks, 200 Visionaries exhibit to the Big Apple. This is the last stint of Louis Vuitton's tour of this exhibit, where they basically have taken the very iconic Louis Vuitton trunk and had it designed by various artists into their own interpretations of a trunk. So this has previously been in Singapore, Asia and LA, and this is its final stop in New York. It will be there. It's currently on now until the 31st of December. So if you are in NYC, get yourselves there. I actually need to sort out when I'm going as well. It's free to attend, and you know, if you're into luxury fashion, it's a no-brainer. Dior will be releasing a capsule collection with South African designer Thebe Magugu. This is very exciting. As part of this collection, Dior has donated an undisclosed amount of money to Charlize Theron's charity, which is the Africa Outreach Project that promotes AIDS education and prevention for young South Africans. This is going to be available from the 27th of October at select Dior boutiques, and is basically Thebe's take on the Dior new look, right? So that is that, you know, the bar jacket and all of this. And I think that this will be really interesting. Thebe Magugu is only 28, so this is a huge feat. I mean, it makes me look at my life and go, what have you accomplished? Not a collaboration with Dior, my love. Balenciaga has officially cut ties with Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. I just thought I would tell you, if you don't know why, take a Google. I can't. Like, I honestly cannot give any more of my energy towards the comments and actions of this man, but Balenciaga has officially cut ties with him, and apparently Adidas has not, and I thought Adidas had. I found this very interesting, but yes, Balenciaga is out.
And it was announced that Adidas has also dropped him too.
Last little bit of fashion news, that this was really interesting to me. So, Jean-Paul Gaultier's Couture line has had different creative directors every season. And from the Glenn Martin's collection, there was this incredible sort of like ribbon corset top, shall we say. It has now been reported that it has been bought by an anonymous buyer who has asked for exclusivity. What does that mean? That means that 2 pieces of this top will exist. Number 1, for Jean-Paul Gaultier, for them to have as a brand in their archives, all of that. And number 2, 1 for the anonymous buyer. It also means that this top will not be allowed to be used in photo shoots or for press events or on red carpets. So we may never see this top again. Caused a lot of ruckus, particularly on like TikTok and Instagram. Sparked a conversation around gatekeeping. Couture is known for being those one-of-a-kind pieces for those high net worth individuals that, you know, can pay $250,000 for a single dress, right? So there's always been an exclusivity around couture far more than, you know, luxury fashion in general. I don't know why this particular piece was the one that broke the camel's back, because think of how many couture pieces that this has probably happened to. Anyway, there we go. People got angry about it, and there is one fabulous individual that has this in their closet, living their best life. Good for you. Moving into new and noteworthy, Aquazzura did a collaboration with Swarovski Creators Lab. Swarovski has Creators Lab, which is basically where they do their sort of one-off collaborations, and this time they've got Aquazzura. The shoes are everything you would expect them to be. They've got huge crystals in the heel. It's got a limited release, and it has crystallized the gods. It is available now. Have you ever finished a bag of crisps? This isn't a bag of crisps, but for all intents and purposes, let's go along with it. And thought, oh, hold on, chic, let me just teeter-totter my way, you know, out to lunch with my new bag. No, you haven't, but Balenciaga seems to think you have, because they've done a collaboration with Lay's, the crisp company, or chips if you're from the USA. Right, so they've done this, everybody's been talking about it. It is a leather bag, give it that at least it's not the foil. It's got a zip at the top. I can't. And there are 3 designs as far as I'm aware. One that looks plain, one that looks spicy, and one that looks like lime. But the flavour on it is Balenciaga. This is, I mean, every time I do these videos I feel like there's something Balenciaga, you know, trolling to report, because this is what they do best. It's their next instalment of Balenciaga's tomfoolery. So if you want to look like you haven't found a bin to put your crisp packet in, these are going for about $1,500, so I would say just over the £1,000 mark. One more luxury brand jumps on the fine jewellery train, Prada. So Prada has released it's actually quite a large collection of fine jewellery. A lot of it, sadly, does say price upon request, and you know what that means? we're too broke for it. All of the gold is recycled gold. I love that. I do like how quite a lot of the pieces have the triangle involved, but they don't look overtly branded. Does that make sense? I think the difference between fine jewellery from a brand and costume jewellery from a brand is that with fine jewellery you probably don't want it to say Prada all over it. There's rings, earrings, necklaces, bracelets. Apparently there's a new name for when you're lounging around at home watching Love is Blind on Netflix and eating snacks, and that is cocooning. Loro Piana has released their loungewear collection called Cocooning, so you can cocoon yourself in Loro Piana cashmere and feel truly luxurious and better than everybody else. So Loro Piana, if you didn't know, is the official uniform of people who stay at Hotel du Cap Eden Rock every summer and ski in Stad. I'm talking like I'm very bitter about it, and maybe I am. Prices range from like $300 for a pair of socks all the way up to $3,225 for a long cardigan. Gucci loves a collab. Gucci's latest collab is with Palace. Palace is a London-based streetwear company. They're one of those that there's always a queue when you go past their shop in Soho because of the drops. It's like, dare I say, is it almost a bit like England Supreme? They've done a collaboration with Gucci, and to be honest with you, I really wasn't interested. I was like, great, Palace, good for you. I'm not really into Palace. Why would I bother looking? And then I had a look at the collection, and whilst a lot of it isn't for me, let's just drag our attention to a couple of pieces. Number one, this little moon bag that looks vintage. I think it's really cute. It's also not sold out yet. Quite a few of the pieces are sold out, as they would be. That's really great. It comes in a light blue and a baby pink. Oh, it's giving like those old school Dior oblique vibes. You know the ones. Anyway, so there's that. They also are doing, actually no, I was going to recommend this and I've just remembered how it ties at the back and it's a bunch of bollocks, to be honest with you. There's like a little triangle bikini thing, but it's not even got a proper tie mechanism at the back. You're just expected to tie a knot. No thank you. There is, however, this mini skirt which comes in GG monogram canvas, and it's got the two thong looking straps at the side with Gucci and Palace. And I will say, I kind of loved it. Would I mean, it doesn't really suit me, but I feel like on the right person, I would see this and I'd be like, kill it, you know? Anyway, thought I'd, you know, drag your attention to those. Hot new items. Let's go. Brandon Blackwood has dropped his fall collection. Couple of pieces to note that I got the most excited about. The Hatter jacket is a good one, especially in the forest green. It looks bumpy and, you know, like it's going to cradle you to sleep at night. But let's go to the bags. I have three favourites. The acrylic clutch, the vanity purse is really nice. So this one, it sort of, you know, just like hinges off the top. I like that one a lot. There was also the duplex purse that I like, but I think it's a little bit more cumbersome to carry than the vanity. So I'd say probably out of all of them, it's the clutch and the vanity that are my personal faves. Celine has released the Celine Triomphe frame. Comes in one size, two colours, black and like a ballet looking blush pink. And instead of there being, you know how you sort of pinch the Triomphe logo to open it up, it's the outline of it, and there's two magnetic closures on opposite sides of the bag. It's a little bit more low-key, a little bit more understated. I don't know, Celine bags in general I find, except for if you get the logo ones, are quite understated in general, so this is even more sort of low-key than those. It's got a gold chain, it's just a little twist on the logo. And finally, for the Cartier lovers among us, they have dropped a new watch. It's a pebble-shaped watch, and it's called the Baseball. Apparently it's an old style that they've brought back on a limited edition basis. It will only have 150 numbered pieces. It will be available in November for, wait for it, £40,000 or $45,000. Let me know what you thought of the news this month. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.